up, y'all? Well, it's the weekend, but it's not Friday, so I'm here a day later than normal for this edition of On the Needle. But we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it with Big Sean and his debut studio album, Finally Famous. So I just want to start off by saying I feel like a lot of times people play in Big Sean's face. And what I mean by that is lyrically, he is one of the best rappers, in my opinion, to emerge, I'd say, within the last 20 years or so. I love his flow, his cadence. I feel like he's been overshadowed, though, by the Drakes, the Kendrick Lamars, the, you know, J. Cole's of the world. Even, other rappers like, Lil Yachty and all the Lil Baby, Lil everybody. But I think a lot of times people forget about Big Sean. If y'all remember on the Kanye West song Click, well, I think that was the Good Music compilation, if I'm not mistaken. Big Sean his verse was killer. I mean, it was definitely not a forgettable verse. So I love this album, Finally Famous, which, let's see what year this came out. 2021 for the vinyl. But I feel like this album came out before then. But anyway, the vinyl came out in 2021, but I can't remember the exact year. I may have to look that up and add it. But first studio album, like I said, so kind of getting into the packaging here. Pretty standard album. You open up this here and just two black vinyls. You have the songwriting credits, and then you have his thank yous, which are huge. They take up a whole page here. But I think this is a really good one to have on vinyl. I don't understand the whole Kanye West thing and why Kanye said that he I think he said that Big Sean was the worst artist that he signed or his biggest regret, something like that. I don't understand it. But this album was really fire to me. Executive produced by Kanye, production by No ID. I feel like No ID and Big Sean definitely make a great team. And at this point in Big Sean's career, he's still making quality music, because I love the song Precision that came out a few months ago, and the new one, On Up, which samples the Jodeci classic Get On Up. So I'm excited for this new album. I heard that it leaked. These albums are not going back in here, so I'm not gonna keep fumbling with it. But I heard that his new album leaked. But regardless of if it did or not, I'm here for it. I'm ready to hear it. So let's get into this track listing. So these are the songs from that first studio album. And I'm gonna start off with the songs that were my favorites, but they were not singles or radio songs. So Don't Tell Me You Love Me, that song was really dope. And I take that back. I think that one I did hear on the radio a little bit, but it wasn't one of the big standouts commercially from this album, but it's one of my favorites. Memories with John Legend. This is Memories Part 2. That song, that is hands down, one of the best songs in Big Sean's career. And dare I say, it's one of John Legend's best songs too. I love his vocals on there. I love how it's gritty. He kind of gives us that feel from Get Lifted, where I think when John Legend first came out, he had this kind of raspy hoarseness to his voice, which I actually like. And then I think as he became commercially more successful, you started to see that fade away a little bit. But I think this song was the last glimpse of that we got, in my opinion. Yeah, it's one of my favorite songs on the album. I love 100 Keys with Rick Ross and Pusha T. The Freshman 10 freestyle was another one of my favorites. Celebrity with Dwele. Let's talk about Dwele. I don't know for sure if y'all know who he is. Really, really amazing R&B artist. Y'all need to check him out. He's somebody who I don't believe gets their flowers either in his genre. But of course, you have the singles, Marvin and Chardonnay with Kanye and Roscoe Dash. The song is hot to this day. I still bump it. I love Wait For Me with Lupe Fiasco. My Last with Chris Brown. That was another hot one. And Dance, parentheses ass, remix with Nicki Minaj. Love it. I love the original and the one with Nicki Minaj. So yeah, this album really, to me, it gives a little bit for everybody. You have, like your commercial hip hop records, some that kind of borderline on more pop. The one with John Legend, I would say, is a little bit more towards R&B. You have some records that are like more street, that are strictly rap. So I think he did a great job of making sure that he fired off on all cylinders, so to speak, with this album. And to be honest, I haven't heard a Big Sean album that I can say, oh, that just sucked. There's been some that I'll say are standouts, some albums, and then there's some songs from some of his albums that I can definitely say I like more than others. But I've never heard him put out a totally bad album. That's just me. So, curious to know what y'all think about Big Sean as an artist. What do you think about this studio album, Finally Famous? His new album that's coming up. What are some of your favorite songs of his? Where would you rank him in terms of today's hip hop artists? Where would he fall in that ranking? And as always, thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I really appreciate y'all checking out these videos. And until next week, peace.